Good evening, everyone. It is another beautiful day. We have about a week or so of weather here where it's actually going to be up in like the 70s, which is awesome. We're coming out to the barn. Got some more parts in for the tractor, so we're going to put it back up on the lift. The last video, I had power washed it and figured out that there's no PTO for the mower deck. So we have PTO. I think I should be able to get it on there with the mower deck on, so stay tuned.
Did you ever put the new seat on?
No.
Penny, come here. There you go.
Got the PTO on, got the belt back on for the deck. When you put the PTO on, you want to make sure, I didn't show this and I should have, there's a knob up here that hangs down from the frame of the tractor, and on the top of the PTO is a slot, and you want that knob to go down in that slot when you put the bolt on, and that keeps the PTO from spinning all the way around. When you turn the PTO on, it just hits up against that knob. So sorry, I should have showed you that, but it's kind of cramped quarters underneath there. So we're gonna take it down now, and we're gonna take it outside. I'm gonna kick the deck on, make sure that everything spins nicely, and then if it does, we'll bring it back in. We'll keep working on some of the other little stuff, and maybe tonight we'll get the hood and stuff out and put that on.
So we decided to, we're cleaning off the lawnmower with the power washer.
Second power washing is complete. Power washed the fuel tank. Remember, that was all nasty and cruddy on top. When I took the pans off, there was just grass and everything down in here. That's all done. All nice and fixed and washed up. We'll put the hood and stuff together, put the decals on. More decals. And she's going to be ready to go here very shortly. Got the deck all washed up. The foot pan and the fenders are all washed up. It's gonna be good. Got some eggs? Yeah. All right, got it back in the barn. Put the foot pan on, new bolts on the foot pan, and I'm gonna put the fenders on now, or attempt to. Sits right down on there.
Beautiful.
Which one was forward and which one was reverse? Alright, so my wife left me and we were working on putting these pedals on. I had them on backwards. Not backwards, but like this was on this side and it needs to be on that side. So I think that's why we were having a little bit of problem. But we got her figured out now. So this is not a genuine John Deere seat because that is way too expensive, but I have put many of these on. This is a product by seat by A&I Products. They're out of Rock Valley, Iowa. It's a universal seat, so it fits a lot of different seat bases. You want to be a little cautious when opening it up so that you don't slice the seat. Speaking from experience, there's our seat. If you buy a seat from A&I Products, very nice seats. I'd say they're actually almost better than the OEM seats. But they do send this little tag along. I'll stick it on the back of the seat here. It says, stop. Do not reuse the original seat bolts to mount a new seat. 5/16, number 18 right-hand thread bolts are needed. Shipper is not responsible for damage by ignoring this warning. Been there, done that. So yeah, the bolts that come on the seat that are down underneath here, those are actually metric, and they will not work on this seat. So you do need to get new bolts. That one is in there. There it is. Old seat's off. Junk. So we have these seat brackets. We'll wipe those up just a little bit. Do not use these because they are serious about their warranty. They will not cover it. Wasn't pointing at it. Alright, so got the seat on. The one thing I don't like about the hole placement on these seats is it's really far back on the seat, which means when you put it down, it's really far forward towards the steering wheel. Now, the saving grace with this is that this seat does go back. Now, how long has it been since it's been moved back? Probably a really long time, because it should actually slide fairly easily. Alright, so a little bit of WD-40 and some hard tugging at it, and we finally got the seat to move freely. So yeah, it's back all the way as far as it goes, and then if you would have the steering wheel all the way up, it should actually be a pretty comfortable ride. So, alright, so I got the hoods out of the boxes, started putting them together, put the grill on. So on these hoods, there's there's 4 screws that hold the upper hood to the lower hood. There's 1, 2, and there's 2 in the back here that I got to put in yet. And then there's 4 screws that hold these together. You want to be careful putting all these in because this plastic is not the best stuff in the world. So it will crack, it will break, and if you break it, that's $300, $400 down the tube. So yeah, I'm gonna put these last 2 screws in. I put the new lens cover on, so they're both nice and new. And then once I get those other 2 screws on, we can flip it over. We'll put the decals on, then we'll set it on the tractor. Do I measure? No. You know why? Because I have put a lot of these on in my time doing this, so. Got some parts. Oh yeah. Got some steering wheel parts for the adjustable steering wheel. We're gonna see if we can figure out how to get that whole thing back together. So this is the piece that's broken right here, and there are two springs, one on each side, that's holding that piece is holding those springs up. So I don't really want to touch that because I don't want those springs to drop down in there and then have to try to fish them out. So I'm going to try to put all this together down lower and then just take those springs and transfer them down. So we'll see how that goes. So that's kind of how it goes. The big piece goes on the bottom. The small cylinder piece goes up through it before you put it on the shaft. And then the lever sits down on top of that. And then it's keyed right there. So then it holds tight. So then when you twist this to move it, it pulls that up. Now it's not going to go back down because I don't have the springs on it. But like there you see it's down. And when I twist this, it pulls it up. And then you can adjust. So now the tricky part is, see if we can get those springs off of there and down onto the new one. And then this old piece can come out of here. Junk. Now, works. Alright. Turn our steering wheel straight and then put our John Deere logo back on. Beautiful. There it is. Clean up our mess. Alright, so the deck has a couple different grease points right on top of the main spindles. So we'll just plug into them. Give it a couple pumps. Yeah. If you have a shop of any sort and you don't have an automatic grease gun, I highly suggest one. This one is a DeWalt, but since I have all Cobalt tools, I don't know why, ever since I was a teenager, I have been a Cobalt fan. But Cobalt does not make a grease gun. Wish they did, but they don't. So I bought a little adapter that takes it over, and it works. Works great. It's looking good. Again, it definitely sat out in the sun for the majority of its life because that's just how much of the fading has gone on in the paint. And I thought about repainting it, but I don't think I'm going to. If I do anything, I'll buff it up a little bit, buff it out a little bit. But I think for a 325 with just over 1,100 hours on it, it's pretty desirable little mower for somebody. 48-inch deck, fairly solid deck. I mean, it looks like it has a lot of rust, but when I sprayed off the underside of it, I power washed the underside of it, like it looked really good. So yeah, that's the plan next.